With me now. What up? What up? What up? What the heck? I can't follow that up. Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Yeah, you almost said Tuesday.
Like,
I got you.
I feel like you just deft.
You didn't expect me to do that.
You just deft whoever hit play just now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your
deafened.
For your headphones.
Deafened.
I'm sorry for the people around you. I'm sorry on behalf of
They can't hear you.
I'm sorry on behalf of my fiance.
They can't hear you.
She likes to be loud.
That's what he said.
It's the culture in her.
I mean,
which is funny because this is the topic we want to talk about.
You're not wrong.
Exactly. We're going to get into this. So it's perfect timing on how you did this. What is going on, everyone?
Spicy meatballs.
Hold up. Let me get this intro out, dog. What is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I am joined by the hardest working female in the room.
You know, that was almost a compliment. But I'm the only hard-working female in the room. I'm okay. At first, I was like, oh, and then I was like, no. Wow. This is the disappointed Lauren reporting. Wow. Couldn't say hardest-working person.
You are. It's the hardest-working person in the room.
You said female.
Well, same thing.
You're female?
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
If I
rude
tuck my legs, let me stop.
Oh my god.
Let me stop. Oh god. What is going on, everyone? Man. So we're gonna start off today's episode getting into I guess a relationship advice topic that I just wanted to focus on because I thought it'd be an interesting conversation between us that I feel like we've had, and maybe we can have it in greater detail on this podcast. So this topic starts off by saying, married interracial couples, how did you manage to compromise between your cultures and heritage? They go on to say, my partner and I were discussing the possibilities about having kids. I'm Chinese and they are Mexican. We both want to teach our kids about our cultures and cannot come to an agreement as to which values to teach our children. For example, I want our kids to learn Chinese, but my partner wants our children to enroll in dual immersion to learn Spanish. Interesting. I want my children to learn about the religious holidays that I practiced growing up. My partner wants to practice hers as well. They contradict in many areas. How did you suggest we come to a compromise? How do you?
The holiday one's hard because I was gonna say just do both, but if they kind of if they're complete opposites, I mean that's kind of hard to explain to a child. I
could be totally wrong on this, but like the way Chinese people celebrate Christmas is different than that. It's not on the same day, of course. It's
I don't know.
I think it's in a few days. Am I wrong?
No, but what she's saying is they contradict in celebrations and beliefs and stuff. So how do you explain to a kid, oh, we're going to do both these even though they say the opposite? So that one's a little trickier. But as far as the language thing, guys, children under 5 can learn 5 languages. You do not need to limit them. This is a very real thing. People think kids are not capable of what they actually are. Language learning it's best done the earlier the better when you are younger, because how many of us in high school and college and stuff, this stuff is so hard for us to learn. For a child, it is a lot easier. It's kind of the same thing as if you go into a sport. The child is automatically more flexible and they learn things faster. That's just what it is, okay? This is a growing mind, and this is what they are capable of. So the whole, learning Spanish and learning Chinese, that child can very well learn both. Yes, it'll be more work for you guys. Yes, it'll be, maybe confusing at times, but they're very capable. They could easily speak English, Chinese, and Spanish growing up if you so want them to. Mm-hmm. So like, and you can help them with like courses in school and personally at home. And that's the big thing too, is people have to remember, for children, you have to be speaking it at home for the child to retain it and for the child to understand it in the like dialect that you have and everything like that. So you have to make sure you're talking to the child in that language as well. So that's very important too. But so that part, I don't want to hear it. That part that child can do all of it. The holiday is a little more confusing though, because I don't know exactly what they do.
So I want to take this away from them and put it more to us.
Okay.
For it.
Hi guys.
Well, pretty much in general for the whole thing. So if you didn't know, white and black here. For those that didn't know.
You couldn't tell by
the cover art.
Yeah, the cover
video,
art.
Like any of that.
Just that's us. Just FYI, in case you thought it was a random people.
So I don't have necessarily. So I'm to get into it. I'm part Jamaican, part whatever the heck else that's on the whatever the heck. I don't know the much of the extra details. I just know there's the black side and there's the Jamaican side, and there's probably some other things in that. Talk to my parents.
A 16th Irish, something
yeah,
random.
There's probably
like
some
that.
other things in that. And then you are.
I am half Italian, a quarter French Canadian, and a quarter English.
So, which leads me to be whatever kid pops out.
Oh, that kid's coming out.
It's gonna be a mix of a lot of cultures, a lot of things.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, it'd be helpful to know yours so that we could tell the kid.
One day. One day we'll get that. So it's interesting. One thing that I really I would like to like push on our kids, because I like it, even though I'm not heavy into it, is I like the Jamaican like culture and like that whole vibe.
What about it?
Everything from like the music to like to like how they talk. Like understand, like when I could watch a video and I know like what some like man or woman is saying, like when the Bahamas happened, when that hurricane went through, and of course majority of the people there are black, and some of them have like that Jamaican like type of accent. Like it's cool. Like I don't have to struggle to know what they sound like, because it's like I grew up with my mom talking on Jamaican, whether it be on the phone or in person with her, family and all that stuff. So it's like I know what someone's gonna say. We're gonna go to Jamaica for our honeymoon, and it's like, dog, this is gonna be home for me, because I grew up like hearing this, whether it be like the music whenever I go to family gatherings, or of course like my mom saying it and different things like that. So like I feel like I would probably play like more Jamaican music from time to time having kids, so like they get familiar with like the sound and like they understand a little bit of that side. At some point, take them to Jamaica, maybe not to the local areas, because I'm not too comfortable there, because I don't know. I don't know what's safe and what's not safe.
Well, yeah, but then they're not really seeing the Jamaica that I think you're thinking of.
Of course, but I don't feel comfortable unless I have like it's like if we were to go to like Italy for you, where you don't know what places are like safe or not safe, so it's like,
yeah, but generally speaking, a lot more of Italy is safer than the parts you've told me about Jamaica.
I don't know about that one.
Okay, well,
I feel like they won't put a gun at me, but they'll pull a knife.
Our kids would also kind of get the Jamaican side from your mom's side too, because they'd obviously hear how she speaks and how her family speaks,
but she doesn't
so they still
speak
would
like that. Like she speaks like
she's
that.
Got an accent.
Not to me.
Well, okay, you're the son.
She speaks fast, but I don't think there's an accent. Not like fast, like.
There's definitely an accent.
I don't think there's an accent.
Okay, again, I'm an outsider, so there's definitely an accent.
There's no accent.
Sir.
I don't know. What's your idea of an accent? Because I don't feel like she has that. Like
an accent is usually not a slur, but like a way that people, that the words come out. They just come out a little pronounced differently, and just, I don't know how to explain it. Just like a southern accent is that's an accent.
But yeah, I understand that, but I don't
She has
feel
a
like
Jamaican
there's an accent.
Okay.
Like, it's kind of like something where she, like, switches it. Like, she's talking to someone that's Jamaican, it comes on.
Well,
she's
no,
talking
so
normal,
that's
it's
more
like
the language that comes on at that point.
I don't know.
The accent doesn't really go away. I mean, people can move, and sometimes accents change is what I've heard, but not completely.
The next thing is the food. And it's like, oh, man, I would hate for our kids, whether it be 1 or 2 or whatever.
Go off.
What?
Go off.
Go off where?
What? You say that they're gonna have a bland ass diet.
Oh, man, I would hate for them to not like spicy foods.
Go off.
I would hate that so much because that food
Well, half
so
folks, when I'm pregnant, I'm not eating spicy foods unless I crave it.
That's fine, but as a kid,
they're not gonna come out like, woo.
Just be fine that when they're kids, and like I'll probably make the effort to like go out to some Jamaican place or like have them like try out a little bit of like a chicken or something like that.
I don't care. Like when we have kids, like especially when we go over for like Thanksgiving, Christmas and stuff. Yeah, I'll have them try all the different stuff.
Man,
I know. I understand that there's things I don't want to do, but that you do for your kids. Man. You broaden their horizons. Like, you don't limit them.
It's funny because I just saw my cousin. She posted on Snapchat like, she's like captioning saying, "Hey, I love going to like family gatherings and stuff like that because like literally for the food, she took a picture of the food." And I'm like, yo, literally the same. I love being in that environment of like knowing, like it's just where like what you're a part of, kind of gives you like that tribe vibe.
Cool. That sounds fun.
Well, you're coming into my tribe. Does that count?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
It better count because you're going to be seeing part of my tribe tomorrow, but okay.
I know.
And by tomorrow's going to be...
no, it's like a week ago.
It's going to be her bridal shower.
My bridal shower! Oh my God, guys!
But like, different things like that, like I want to spread.
Tribes they're connecting, they're blending. The tribes are blending.
Yeah, I was telling my mom that. I'm like, this is who's coming, all that stuff. And, like, she's fine with it. Like,
I don't even know who's coming. I don't know who said yes or no. Because part of the thing is it's like a surprise.
I have an idea.
I mean, I assume I know who. When she said 26, I'm like, so only like, I don't know, 4 or 5 must have said no or something. Because I didn't invite much more. So I'm like, I don't know who. But, well, I know one person who couldn't come. But that's it.
I don't know. But, like, I just want to... I want them to, like, have the same experiences that I've had with the culture that, like... So, like, the food, the music, like, the sounds, like, how people speak. Like, I feel like that's important to, like, have... I'm not sure how much you want to talk about your side of, like, what you would, like, want to bring in.
So this is an interesting topic.
Go ahead.
I don't have where I have like generations came down with like traditions and different stuff like that, and I don't have extended family that I can grab things from like that. But like, for example, I know that, okay, I'm Italian. I want to make actual sauce, like from scratch, like actual pasta sauce, like red sauce. Mm-hmm. Because like, okay, my mom is she's 100% Italian. Okay, she's where I get the half. And like, she never made sauce from scratch, at least that I could remember. Mm-hmm. And then I knew someone who she was, I don't know if she was a whole Italian, but she was really Italian. And she made the sauce from scratch. And I was like, Lord have mercy. Like, there is such a difference. Yeah. And it's just like, that's kind of... It's a homey, like, yummy, like, stick to your ribs, warm meal, like, and it's like that kind of thing.
Because that's a part of your culture where it's like, hey, you get to make the pasta, you make the sauce. Like, it's all, like, kind of, you make it.
And that's the thing, too. It's not very friendly for my diet, but making pasta from scratch is, like, an art.
Yeah.
Like, actually from scratch and like things like that. So I think those are cool. Like, I would love to do stuff like that with a kid, like even if we did like a little pasta making class or something, like that'd be so cute. But like, there's stuff like that. When it comes to traditions, it's more so traditions that either you and I are making or that I like from my family that I'm bringing down. Like, it's not necessarily culture-wise. Like, it's not like this is Italian or something like that. It's more so like if I like to have this tradition at Christmas or like things like that. And I like to make those like you and I are ultimately we're currently making family traditions that we will do with our kids. Like that kind of thing, I think is more important than like, you know, just having that as like a family unit.
What's also helpful is like we don't have different holiday, or we do have different holiday, like we have the same holidays, but the way that we like went about it in our own families is different.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, how do we...
Yes. Okay. That's the thing. So like for Christmas, it was like huge for my family. And like they would like flat out, they spoiled us. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like they would, you know, save whatever amount of money. And like it was like a thing every year. Was like it was a priority to get gifts and like that kind of thing. And a lot. And like, you know, it's no small gesture, no small amount. And versus with you for Christmas, you have like, you'd get like socks from this person and a t-shirt from this person, like little.
The way it worked for my family, because it's like, we're not rolling in it.
Right.
Little middle class family.
That's the thing. That's the funny thing is neither are we. They just, for some reason, that was their, as parents, that was like their priority.
So what I liked what my family did, what my parents did, they since the time I was growing up, there was always like that one item, like
right,
where it's like, what's that one big thing that you want, and they would ensure that I got it. Like one year I remember the Wii I got, and it was like the hot ticket item, like everyone wanted it and all that stuff. Like every year they did that for all my siblings, and I come from a house of what, 5?
Yes,
I started to think. Hard to think in my head, there's so many people. But I come from that house, so like everyone got what they wanted. Like my sister got a drum set, and like those things are pricey. Like
I had one. Yeah.
But it's like you get your one main gift, and then everything else is like, you know, clothes, like necessary items. Right. And that's what I would want to do for our kids, where it's like, okay, you can only have one main thing, and then everything else is stuff that you need. And it kind of, in a sense, like humbled you, because it's like, okay, I know I can get this one thing, and then everything else is after. And I don't know. I like that.
And I feel like this is where we'll kind of, I guess, compromise. But I actually saw this idea on Facebook recently, and I should have saved it. It was kind of cute. There was like, I think 4 boxes, and you wrapped it like a snowman. Mm-hmm. So like they're different sizes, you know, going down. And each box had a different meaning. So maybe one was a piece of clothing, maybe one was an expensive item, like kind of like what you were saying. But it was just kind of done so that you get this amount of gifts, you know what to expect, and like it's kind of like, you know, not breaking the budget, but still something extra kind of thing. And I thought it was cute. I thought it was a good way to go about it. But then part of me, I like my mom would do where say for example, if I got an iPhone and the charging cable came separate and like the cube came separate, she would literally like wrap every single thing separate so that you just had more to unwrap. Yeah. That kind of thing. Even though it all went together. Like I always thought that was a cool idea. Or, and this is where I get it from her for you, is, and I always love doing this, like whoever I'm with, I would like, I listen and you say things like along the way throughout the year, and I'll write them down. And so I'll like surprise you at your birthday or Christmas or something, and you maybe completely forgot about it, but you're like, oh, like I said I really wanted this and I didn't realize you were listening, or like I didn't, you know, I forgot, or what, something like that. Those gifts are really cool, because I remember like one year it was an eyeshadow palette. It was the Urban Decay Naked 3 eyeshadow palette. And she just, like, I did not expect it at all. I didn't ask for it. And, like, she just, like, surprised me. So I think stuff like that is cool. Because kids, you know, they're like that. They're, you know, maybe they're watching TV and they keep seeing like the same commercial and they like keep fawning over it, but they don't actually like ask you for it.
Yeah.
Like that would be so cool. Like, because it lights them up.
What you're telling me is you're going to pop up with a Tesla either on my birthday or Christmas.
You know what? I'm so done with
Dog,
you.
I will let me know what I've been saving. I'll be like, here you go. No fight. Like,
I'm done with. Okay. Anyways, like I was saying, I think that's what matters to me is making sure that the gifts are meaningful too.
Well, yeah, that's a part of it. And it's funny how like sometimes my family would play around where it's like, I remember like at some point within that year, someone got like a radio or something like that or something. And I guess they thought it would be cool to, I may have said something, I don't know, this is a long time ago, where it's like, oh, I would like a radio too or something. And also, I think this is around the time the GameCube came out. So what they did was they took it and they like took the GameCube and put it inside the box of the radio. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I just put it aside. I didn't open it. And they're like, open this.
That's smart.
Like, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I feel like my parents did that once or twice too. I swear they've done that.
But like,
oh, they have. Okay, my parents will keep little boxes, like say like ornaments came in them or something, because what they'll do is they'll reuse the box for something small that they bought and wrap it up.
yeah.
And when we're younger, we didn't realize that. Now that we're older, if they were to do this now, we're like, oh, we have to open it. We know it's not this,
Yeah.
2000 ornament. Like, so, yeah, they would do that. We would be like, why'd you get me this ornament? Or like something random. And it would just, yeah.
So this is something like away from our cultures and how we were raised and everything, but something that we go back and forth with, which is schooling. And I'm pushing for kids to go to private school because I feel like that's a safer option, in my opinion. And that's how I was brought up, and I feel like that's something I can like get behind. And I think it's a positive experience for a kid. It doesn't have to deal necessarily with your race or anything, but that's
I think first of all, let's see where we move. Like, let's give it a chance. Let's see like where we'll be when we're going to actually have kids. And also. I don't know. I feel like that's very much a cross that bridge when we get there kind of discussion, because it is a hefty bill, especially if you have several children. And I don't know. It's one of those things I kind of like personally when you enroll the younger kids, either in like, say like 3 and 4 years old in like a preschool program to get them socialized and things like that. I think that's important. Or if they want to start sports and like activities when they're younger, I think that is worth paying for as well. More so than private school, because it starts their creativity. They learn what they like and don't like, those kind of things.
Okay. On to your point, what if the kid doesn't want to do anything? Because I say this because my mom tried forcing me to do karate, baseball.
I'm not going to force them.
What else? Was there anything else? That may be it that I can think of.
So I'm not going to force them because I wasn't forced. When I was a kid, I remember, I think I was around 5. I first tried dance and I gave up after a very short while. I went to gymnastics. I gave up after a very short while because I was terrified of the balance beam. And what's funny is part of me actually wishes that my mom made me stick it out a little longer for either of them, because I think I would have come to love them more, because to this day I want to do adult gymnastics. Like, I miss it, and I wish I could have done it more. And even dance, like, I feel like I would have loved that more. So like, I struggle with it because I feel like back then I gave up too quickly and easily. And I appreciate that my parents were okay with that, because they didn't like push me and become a dance mom or anything like that. But at the same time, like, it's kind of one of those fine lines, because you got to be like, oh, give it a chance. Like, if we're going to try, kind of like, I feel like that's where you have a conversation with the kid. And you're like, okay, if you really want to try dance, we're going to try it for 6 months, okay? And if after 6 months you decide you do not like it, we can change it. Like that kind of thing. Versus like 2 weeks and I'm done. Because, yeah, I always struggled with that. So like I'm not going to be the type that forces them, but I also feel like I don't want to jeopardize that they missed out.
Yeah, but see, my thing is, the reason my mom forced me was because she didn't want me just in the house playing games and all that.
Well, I can see her point there,
but
because there's that you want kids to like do
But see,
stuff.
here's the thing. It's tough because you don't know how your kid is going to turn out in the future.
Right.
Literally when I turned like 12, 13, like I already knew what I wanted to do. And, like, here I am getting, like, enrolled into things, like, earlier, like, before I was 12, 13. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. Like, how do you... It's tough because she's not doing anything wrong. She's trying to get the kid out there active, all that stuff.
Right.
She wants the best for her son. Like, I was the first kid. Like, yeah.
The test one.
But it's like... I don't know. Like it's a tough one to go with, whether it be on your like how you were handled and how I were handled. Because I was forced into it, and I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Because I clearly like I knew I wanted to be doing something with technology when I was like in my early teens, like all that stuff.
And then that would be cool because say like as a teenager, you said that. There's stuff for that. Like, there's even, like, in school, they have, like, robotics clubs in some schools.
Have that.
And, like, no, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you could always find something.
But also, I didn't want to be part of that.
I understand. But what I'm saying is then you help your child discover what works for them and what they enjoy. Because, where I lived, there was, like, the Parks and Rec department and, like, the building. And you could go there and do, like, classes or activities. And, like, there's different ways that you could go about that.
I don't know. The reason I say I don't want to be a part of it is because I knew how I had to like get behind school, where it's like to stay neutral and stay cool with everyone. I can't be with the kids that were probably gonna be perceived as nerds. So I'm like, I'll stay away from that.
And that's the thing is I became a club person.
Yeah, I'm good.
After all the sports stuff didn't work out. So in middle school I started with Builders Club. And then it went into Key Club in high school. And it's basically like a community service type of club and like that kind of thing. And I ended up like doing it all 4 years and being on the board a few years. Like I was all in it. And that was kind of my jam.
I'm good.
But yeah.
I'm good.
I don't know. Besides that,
I feel like
I'm trying to think of my my culture is hard because it's not like,
you don't have like music.
The Italian thing, so it was my grandparents on my mom's side who were off the boat Italians. So it's a couple generations back. And they're gone now. And I don't really have any, I don't have a ton of knowledge about it. And like, I've never been to Italy, even though I'd love to go. Oh my God. I have to go there sometime before I die. But I don't know. It's tough for that. And then when it comes to English and French Canadian, not to knock my dad, but it's like I don't know what there is there at all. I really don't.
Canada's cool. I've been there.
Canada, eh?
Wow. Don't disrespect. I know some Canada people.
Canadian.
Canada people, Canadian, same thing. Not saying like American people.
You say music. I don't know. Freaking Dominic the donkey.
Jiggy.
I can't. Yeah, there's that.
Cause like
I don't know really.
Cause one thing we did, I remember doing this in private school, and it was like every year. I don't know what it was called. Maybe International Day or something like that. You probably had this in public school, maybe, where it's like we would learn about some type of culture, where it'd be Indian, whatever, like some different race of culture, whatever, and like what food they would make. And I remember as a kid, I think I had Indian, so it's like my mom would help me with like making a certain dish that like I agreed on. We would all the kids would bring in something, and it would be like this huge like school like event where it's like, hey. instead of us having like hot lunch or cold lunch or whatever, like we're all bringing meals in and we're all going to try a different part of, culture in the world.
Yeah, my parents always hated when they had to be involved in stuff because they're like, why are they assigning stuff to the parents and not the kids? So there's that.
Wow.
But yeah. I remember, what was it? Well, okay, it counts but doesn't. But in high school, I took 2 years of Italian instead of Spanish for like good reason because I wanted to learn it. And I think there was, for like one of the projects, it was like making something. And wow, this is terrible that I can't remember what it's called. Italian wedding cookies. And they're basically, they're like a dough with, sometimes they have like almonds or little like nuts in them, and they're little balls, and they're like coated all around with like powdered sugar and that kind of thing. And I guess they're very close to, is it called Mexican wedding cookies? I think they're like similar because a lot of Spanish and Italian stuff is similar. And I remember I made those. That was like the first time I really figured, like,
what were we just watching?
Learned that.
Were you just watching a stand-up? Oh, that was the Gabriel Iglesias thing where he went to like Germany or Russia, and he's like, this guy was making tacos, and he called them like something else, Yokis or
No.
Euros.
Yeah, it's like gyros, what we call gyros here. Gyros.
But I realized that like a lot of cultures, I'm not sure if things were taken or if things, somewhere along the line, someone just went somewhere and like, hey, this is how we do this.
What I learned with Spanish and Italian, because the languages are very similar too, is I feel like, there was some crossing there. I'm sounding really dumb because I can't remember exactly what it was. But there are very strong similarities there. But anyways, so that was the first time I learned about those cookies. So I made a bunch of those and discovered I loved them. And so I made those. And I made them from scratch. Like, it was like an effort. So there was that. Here's the thing. Italian, it's about food. Let's be real.
Well, that's what a lot of cultures are. Food.
Well, yeah, very much so. Because, like, the first time I went to one of your family's parties and they had goat head soup, I was like, what? Well, I'm over here like, that is nothing I've ever heard of or seen, and, like, completely different.
It's all about, like, the food, the music, the language, of course. Like, everyone has their own.
I can't say I feel like they ever really listened to Italian music when I was growing up.
I don't know. But
I mean, there's Italian... There's singers like Andrea Bocelli. Like, he's an Italian singer, and he does some of the, like, operatic, like, kind of big singing, but that was every once in a while, like, and I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say him, things like that, but I don't know. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to bring in from my culture, really. That's sad.
Well, maybe one day you will learn with or without kids, and you can be like, hey, this is what I learned. Let's learn it together. All that stuff. I don't know. There's a lot I would want to pass down, and in hopes that, like, whoever our kids, like, end up with, whether it be it's going to be hard to say same race if it's going to be... Like, how does that work, same race? Because really, it's just going to be what? If you find someone else that's
a black and a white parent.
Pretty much, but that's that's far and few between currently.
Not as much as you think. We've seen plenty of them.
Yeah, they seem to be popping up a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just interested in this topic because there's so much I want to like share and just like experience when it comes to a kid, and just like teach and
all I know is my child will have a much easier time doing a family tree than I ever did. And that makes me happy. Because for a family tree, I have to know my immediate surroundings and you have to know your immediate surroundings to make it big for them. And it's like, I have that much. When I had to make family trees, it was always the most tough thing for me. Because I didn't know people, and I didn't know, like... you know, if they ever wanted details of like, you know, what was their maiden name and like where did they come from and like what was their age and all this stuff, and I'm like, I don't know. And you know, it's kind of funny because now that I think about it, there's so many different family situations that like doing family trees kind of sucks. Like that kind of sucks to have to make kids do. Because there's a lot of awkwardness there. There's a lot of hard situations.
But there's always been awkwardness and hard situations. It's
but
nothing new.
I don't know, because it is. That always brought up something in me. Like, I never liked doing the family trees, but at least, like, for our kid, it'll be easier.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you're welcome.
Like me, I would ask. It was tough for me because I didn't know much of my dad's side since I don't talk to him too much. So it's like, I could fill out my mom's side up and down. It was all good.
Right.
My dad's side, I'm like,
Right. Well, like, so when we have a child, at least the cool thing is, like, if my sister or your siblings were to have kids, that our child will know the cousins.
Yeah.
So that's like a big part of it that they would at least be able to fill out and like things like that.
Yeah.
So
I'm with it.
Yeah.
I rock with it. I don't know. I feel like it would be interesting. It's gonna, of course, be a growing situation.
I feel like where you and I might have some tension is like how we parent more so than how do we incorporate cultures.
Yeah. Because I know how to. Same way I treat the dog. Like, I'm stern,
God.
but I know how to, like, when it's time to play and all that stuff, like, I know what it is. I feel like, I don't know, I don't know how to gauge your skills there. You have them, but I don't know how to.
My skills?
Yeah,
hello, I have skills.
I said you have them, but I don't know how to gauge them. But we'll see. We'll deal with that bridge when it comes. All I know is I'm not bending on that freaking private school thing, but we'll deal with it when it happens.
Dude, okay, no. See, that's the thing. You have no.
Dog.
It's something we have to discuss.
It's fine. We're gonna deal with it when it comes.
He's like, yeah, we'll discuss that it's happening.
Pretty much. I already put the down payment down.
What?
Well in advance.
Okay.
That's all I got for this topic. That was an interesting conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to share with the peoples?
This is why I talk a lot and I'm loud. This is why I deafened you guys.
Yeah.
Because I'm Italian. So, see, we can use that excuse.
Before we head out, I just want to let you guys know a few things. We now have a website. Check it out. Check it out. See? Link in the description, PagingTheSimpsons.com. On the site, you can learn more about our story, like how we met and all that stuff.
It's adorbs. I wrote it.
It's on there. You can also... I want to create a segment on the website. It's called Beyond the Podcast. I already have a couple topics up there now of things that maybe we haven't talked on the podcast about that I just wanted to give my own 2 cents on. So I created an own page for me to have my views and thoughts on there. As well as if you're interested in getting into podcasting, I figured I'd share my own experiences, my own 2 cents. So I created a section on how to start a podcast. Just my thoughts. What?
I saw a really funny meme I have to show you.
Oh. But check out the website. Let us know your thoughts. You know what the drill is. Send us a voice message. Send us, emails, whatever. Any comments, critiques, criticisms, anything you want to send us, we can share them on the next episode. Yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm Shadell from Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my hardworking fiance.
Yeah, still not the same. As if you said person, hardest working person in the room.
Hardest working person in the room?
Woo! Yeah! Okay. Lauren, that's me. Hardest person working.
And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace out.